Sons of Man. Chapter 5. The Pre-Adamic Race. The Gray. Before the breath of man ever stirred the dust, before the image of God was impressed upon flesh, the earth stood in a silent anticipation. The angels gathered like a great audience of light, waiting for the next decree of the Almighty. They believed they were being summoned to witness life they would nurture and protect. Yet God, whose wisdom reaches beyond beginnings, had woven another purpose into this moment. This was not a lesson in stewardship. It was a test, a proving ground of loyalty and obedience for immortal beings who had never yet been challenged. The earth before the sun, the first earth, turned softly beneath a sky without a sun. Only the moon and the constellations gave their pale illumination. The temperature hovered between -5 and -20 degrees, cold enough to silence all known forms of life. No beast ran across plains. No bird pierced the heavens. No tree stretched its roots into the soil. And the soil itself, it was unlike anything humanity would one day tread upon. It was a fusion of silvery white metallic liquid, dense yet strangely conductive, and a matrix of poisonous compounds. Half the planet was forged from inorganic mercuric chloride, and the other half from organic substances unknown to future generations. The very vapors rising from the earth were death to human lungs, a venomous breath capable of destroying the nervous system before a scream could leave the throat. It was a world humanity could never inherit. Yet for another species, it was perfect. The first declaration, then God lifted his voice, and heaven trembled with expectation. Not the words the angels anticipated, not the echo that once summoned light into existence, but something altogether different. Let us create the grays in their own image and in their own likeness. He did not say our image. He did not speak of likeness with himself. These beings bore neither the reflection of God nor the beauty of the angels. They were not made to carry his spirit, nor to reveal his nature. They were of their own kind, the birth of the first race. Out of the metallic soil, God formed them, not one or two, but thousands at once, male and female, each fully designed for the hostile environment they would claim as home. Across the ages, humanity has stumbled upon their memory and given them titles: the Ancient Ones, the Man-Gods, the Flying Witches, the Gray Aliens. But whatever the age or tongue, one trait has never changed. They flew. Where angels soar by nature, the Greys flew by design. The form of the Gray. Their bodies were compact, 3 to 4 feet in height for most, though elders could reach 6. Their limbs were long and slender, their muscles strange in placement, forearms strong where biceps were weak, calves developed where thighs were not. They were engineered for control, precision, and speed beyond the human imagination. Their skin was unlike flesh, smooth, gray, hairless, with hues ranging from silver to charcoal. Each being's skin was a single, seamless scale like that of a shark, crafted to retain warmth in a world without the sun. It was delicate to the touch, yet could withstand supersonic movement through ice-cold air and water. Their heads were vast, up to a quarter of their body mass, crowned by a high, sloping forehead that housed intellect beyond angelic comprehension. Their eyes were immense and black, voids without pupils, mirrors without emotion. No eyelid blinked, no gaze softened. To look into their eyes was to stare into a silent abyss. They saw perfectly in lightless realms, but they could not read each other's feelings. Emotion was replaced with something colder. Frequency. They did not speak aloud. Their mouths, mere slits, were used for sustenance and for a haunting, harmonic sound. The song of praise, a piercing melody that vibrated through matter itself. Their voices were not a gift of communication, but a signature of existence. Their ears were nearly absent, for air carried little meaning to them. Information traveled through soundless currents of thought. To hear a gray speak was impossible. To feel a gray speak could shatter a human mind. The nature of the first civilization. The Greys were playful in movement, tireless in curiosity, yet their demeanor appeared cold and analytical. Humanity's own nature, if studied without affection, would seem just as strange. But curiosity led them towards something darker. In the long centuries before the flood of Noah, they began tampering with flesh, intertwining their essence with sea creatures and fragments of early human DNA. From those abominations came the siren, hybrids of supernatural instinct and aquatic terror, forms sung of in later myths as mermaids. They were not mistakes, they were warnings. Creation, when divorced from purpose, spirals toward madness. The angels observe. As God shaped this race, the angels watched in awe, believing they were witnessing the foundation of their future ministry. They did not yet understand. God was watching them. Their responses, their loyalty, their hearts. This was phase 1 of the divine test. And then God bestowed upon the Greys the final ingredient, knowledge. Not wisdom, not revelation, knowledge. A cold, clinical understanding of technology beyond angelic design. Silent craft that defied gravity. Propulsion without flame. Metals that obeyed thought. Instruments sharper than any angelic weapon. Light that could bend and reshape matter. When God awakened their minds, the Greys opened their vast black eyes and beheld the world as ripe for mastery. The rise of a world of metal. Within 10 moon years, the earth transformed. Metal structures stretched across valleys. Silent crafts ascended the skies. Engines pulsed with power drawn from the very soil. For the planet itself was the conductor. No wires, no cables, no fuels. The Earth became a living battery, and the Greys became its architects. Their population surged to 50 million. A civilization unlike any before or after emerged. A cold beauty of order, speed, and metallic brilliance, and presiding over them, placed by the decree of God himself, Lucifer, not yet fallen, not yet broken, not yet corrupted. He stood as arch-cherub of dominion, ruler over the first race, watching as a world of silence, intellect, and lifeless precision flourished under his command. He studied them, they studied him, and somewhere beneath those eyes that reflected nothing, a seed waited. A question unasked, a desire unformed, a destiny yet to awaken. For the Greys were not the end of the story. They were the beginning of the test. Thank you for listening. Subscribe for weekly episodes every Friday, 10 p.m. Mountain Standard Time.